Good morning, everyone. Welcome. This is the morning talk show where we discuss all things Magic the Gathering and Kaldheim spoilers. This is also the morning talk show where if you've got some questions, we do Q&A and general Magic discussion. Also, we do Decklist review. So if you got a 75, that you need some feedback on, you better believe that both myself and the community, we can give that feedback. We're going to take that deck to the next level. Welcome to Coffee and MTG for January, 12th, 2021. So brew up that coffee and let's brew up another conversation this morning. Oh, you got it. I'm here. Minus maybe the ads you got to see. I don't know how many ads there are. I don't know if anyone sees anything. Is there any ads? I don't think there's any ads. Should be ad free on Coffee and MTG. You got it for free. Good morning, Steven. Good morning, Lord Magicus. We're gonna get this. We got the stream going, and the Kaldheim spoilers, of course, are just pouring in. Tons of new stuff. A lot of new cards. A lot of controversial things. It looks like a lot of deck cards that people might want to build their deck around. That's what I'm seeing here from Kaldheim. They're making a lot of cards to build a deck around, but we're going to definitely talk about that as people start pouring in this morning. Good morning, Cole. Good morning, Frederick. Yeah, we're gonna do it. And so grab your cup of coffees, start brewing, because we have a lot of conversation to brew today, and I also have a lot of coffee to drink. I can't start my morning without my coffee, that's for sure. Just like I can't start without Merfolk. Charlie's PlayStation, good morning. All I got from the new set is buy Snowlands and 2x Realm Walker for my elves. That's right. You got to get your Snowlands. We haven't seen the Snow Hate card. I made a video on like, hey, you need to buy into the Snowlands, all right? Or you need to snow basics are superior than regular basics. There is no hate card that is playable that deters you from playing with the snow basics in Modern and Legacy. Now, Legacy actually does have some snow hate. Believe it or not, once upon a time, they did build snow hate, but they don't have that for Modern. They most certainly don't have it for Pioneer or Historic. Is there any reason to be playing with regular basic lands anymore? We're going to have to wait and see what Kaldheim brings, because Gavin Verhey did confirm that the snow hate card is on the way. Only one. Not two, not three, not four. So we got to hope that this one card is going to see at least Modern play. You know, I don't feel for the Legacy players. Or you know what? I can. You know, they're like the old brother of mine. It's like an old uncle of Modern. Good morning, Lance. Oof, that Divine Gambit card might be one of the worst new cards printed in the last few years. Poor white. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. It doesn't look like a white card at all. Let's start, things off talking about Divine Gambit, a double white. Whoops, it's double white for a sorcery. Exile target artifact, creature, enchantment an opponent controls, not yours. Don't be thinking you can show and tell some shit into play. It's an opponent controls. That player may put a permanent card from their hand onto the battlefield. So, the deal here is that, like, what? Like, white already exiles things constantly. Oblivion Ring costs one more, and it can do all these things. It can exile artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. Why would you ever want to give your opponent the ability to put something else into play? I guess this is permanently exiling things, but so does like Skyclave Apparition. This is a very bizarre card. But I like that they've got a chess set on the in the picture. This is like one of those ancient chess sets that I would never play with, because like I don't even know what the pieces are based on how they've been crafted, and everything looks the same. But it's chess. Shout out to the chess fam out there. Didn't the guy in charge of white delete his Twitter? That's hilarious. Hello, emoji is a bogey. That's cute. Good morning. Good morning, Aaron. Good morning, blue-white player. Oh, RD&T got the T. Good morning to the fish fam. I don't know, Divine Gambit. It's a weird card. It's a weird one. Blue-white player says, saw your banned lands video. Do you think Depths and Eye of Ugin can be unbanned if we get Wasteland in Modern? Most definitely not. I don't think. I mean, you maybe Dark Depths, maybe. That's like I'm not sold on you have to unban Dark Depths. I'm just saying Modern's got a lot of answers for this, that it's not going to be clearly overwhelming. It'll overwhelm some decks, of course. Like, what are they going to do about a 2020 flying indestructible creature? But, like, there's tools in the format that's going to make it a game. Ivugan, I don't think, is going to do shit, because, like, they go turn 1 Ivugan, spew you their hand, and the damage is more or less done. You want to play Wasteland? All right, you're down a turn 2. And you're still not dealing with the Eldrazi Mimics and stuff. Is there anything Nikachu would buy for his PC personal collection from, oh, I literally did think you meant my computer, from the new set. Good question. So far there is, the most appealing thing, I think, is the creature that exiles. The green creature that ETB will, you exile a creature from your graveyard and you exile artifacts or enchantments. That's the closest, and honestly, I'm probably not even going to buy it until I know I need it. Where is it? Suddenly can't find the damn thing. It's an old one. There we go. Mass Vandal. This is the closest we got. A G&1 shapeshifter. It's a 1/3 creature, so like basically a 1/3 merfolk could be put in the Simic deck. ETB, you may exile a creature card from your graveyard. If you do, exile target artifact or enchantment and opponent controls. Pretty strong ability. Hard to enable it though. So I'm not 100% sold, but I mean, it's a common, so I'm not going to be rushing to pre-order the thing, okay? You know what I mean? But I don't think anything else has perked my interest yet. We still got to wait and see what happens. Oh god, a 1/1 human. You know, how does the humans get all the 1-drops? What's up with this? That's not fair. A 1 mana 1/1 with vigilance. When it enters the battlefield, if it was the second spell you cast this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Not OP or anything, but you know, like, humans and clerics certainly get more 1 mana 1/1s like around than Merfolk does. And this one at least helps in combat and helps attack and block. What the hell is this? 2 mana 0/6 creature? Ox. Giant Ox. It is the year of the Ox, people. It's the year of the Ox. Shout out to all the Oxes out there. I am also in the Ox territory. I've got the worst horoscopes and Chinese New Year stuff. I'm an Ox and I'm a Libra. I'm the scales. So in my mind, I am the shittiest of all the horoscope things. But whatever. Apparently the Ox is very sturdy. You may use Giant Ox's toughness to crew rather than its power. That makes sense. So you're going to fly a helicopter? You're going to fly a helicopter? You're going to get pulled over. That is ridiculous. You're a magical Ox. This is a world of magic anyway. Hey, a boat. Raider's Carve. When it attacks, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you can put it onto the battlefield tapped. Crew 3. It's really not a bad. That's not too bad. I mean, not modern playable, but. And we got Mammoth Growth. Target creature gets +4/+4, and you can foretell it for like 1. That's trash. It's Garbaggio. If there's anything. Oh, we haven't had too many new cards, and we still got Tybalt's Trickery from yesterday. What else? Throne of Death. At the beginning of your upkeep. Oh, it's a creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, mill a card. Black 2 generic tap. Exile a creature card from your graveyard. Draw a card. Interesting. So a little bit of work to get it online. 3 mana 6/6 creature. What the hell are they doing at this game? At the beginning of your upkeep, exile 2 cards from your graveyard. If you can't, sacrifice Aegon and draw a card. Well, this thing doesn't have indestructible, so this makes it a little bit more fair, but that's pretty strong. I still think a 6/6 for 3 mana that has Death Touch is pretty damn good. They're just increasing the power on these damn creatures. When are we going to see the 2 mana vanilla 5/5? When is that happening in Magic? Like, that was almost prophesized for Modern Horizons. A 2 mana. It's a 2 mana. A 2 mana 5/5 generic creature. Anyway, the creatures keep getting bigger as time goes on. Welcome to Coffee and MTG, the morning talk show. Glad to see everyone around. It looks like the chat is alive and well. Good morning, Roger. Looks like a commander politics card. You mean the shoot, I don't know what this was in reference to. I guess this was in reference to the Gambit card. It must be crazy. Oh yeah, I get it. So you're like, hey, destroy my card here. I got something big. Oh yeah, okay, let's do it. So even more evidence that Wizards of the Coast is going in the direction of the commander players. It's not. This isn't even a good draft card. Well, I mean, if your opponent's empty-handed, it's fine, right? So if your opponent has like no cards in hand, it's 2 mana, exile the target permanent. It's not like reveal cards from the top of your library till we get somewhere. No, I mean, you have to have something good. You need a payoff in your hand. Imagine you exile Jace and your opponent is like, surprise, it's Emrakul. Got ya. Got him. Good morning, Jarl. Good morning, Jojo. They'll probably make Snow Hate in a couple sets like they always do. Oh, I see. So you think so? Is this a block? Are we seeing a is Kaldheim part of a block? I might have missed that news. Maybe I thought this is a standalone set. Honestly, I'm not even paying attention to what Wizards is doing with Standard. You know, as the sets come out, I just accept it. Good morning, Daryl. How pumped would the community be if they just randomly dropped adventures into this set? Seems like one of the most popular mechanics. I don't know if well, adventures will come back. Don't worry, you relax, Torborg. The adventures will come back. Imagine exiling Karn on Tron via Tybalt's trickery, and then, you mean countering? And then they cast Ugin instead of another Karn? Oh, that would be backbreaking. The 0/6 is quite good for Constellate Dreadnought. I don't know what this is. That is a combo. So we got this 1 mana 7/11 artifact, and now we have an Ox that will be in command of the ship. I am the great cow, and I am ordering this ship to move. Hard to starboard. Let's go. Raise the anchor. Unbelievable. What a weird combo. Turn 1 Consulate, turn 2 hit you for 7. Holy fuck. That's crazy. What a what are people talking about this? That's that actually seems a bit like I don't know what to think about it. Like both cards are pretty trash by themselves, and of course you can just fatal push this thing, which is weird. How do you fatal push a ship? How do you fatal push a ship? Where are you gonna push it into? The sea? Are you gonna tip? Are you gonna? I guess you tip the ship as you tip just like you would tip a cow. It works both ways. Nikachu, what does Modern Dredge need in order to be tier 1? Thanks. It's already tier 1. It's just that not as many people can get the value out of this tier 1 deck. Like, I know it has a small win percentage, but like, Sodek still wins challenges left, right, and center over it. I missed a lot of questions. Let's get back. Remember, if you want to be able to catch my attention, use 3 question marks before the question, 3 question marks after the question. Helps me find your comments in the sea of questions and comments. Let's see. We're doing great this morning. Free Dark Depths, turns 3, 2020, which costs you 2 permanents and dies to a bounce trigger, isn't overpowered in Modern at the moment. I don't know. I think Modern can suck it up. I don't think everyone's going to be happy about Dark Depths. I'm not going to say everyone's going to be happy that Dark Depths gets unbanned. But I think of all the cards on the ban list, I mean, I think there's reasonable answers. Not to mention, I think there's a lot of decks that just can race this deck. Winning on turn 4 is nothing particularly special. But it might be... I mean, people are giving out, like, other reasons why you should not unban this card. The way it can fit in some control shells, or even, like, the Elvish Reclaimer decks. What do you think about the new white removal? People are saying it's obsceniously good or garbage. It's probably not good for competitive play. Looks a bit garbage. And like the Gambit is going to do some work in limited. Yeah, probably. The Gambit is just bad. It's going to, as people said, it's going to be a politics card. This is going to be like, it's a commander thing. Hey, the guy will announce, hey, I got this gambit in my hand. Who needs it? Good morning, Jingle Long Ear. Oh yeah, we got the Libras coming out. What's the funniest way you've seen someone lose with a Merit Lage token in play? I don't know. I mean, I've beaten them once by just dismembering their Merit Lage token. I spent 4 life to give that thing -5/-5, and then they can only attack for 15, putting me to 1. I don't know if that's the funniest thing. It's not like I echoed out, ha ha ha, silly Merit Lage, tricks are for kids. But that's the best way I could do it. Let's see. Good morning. Good morning, Daryl. Oh, that's a good one. I like that. Look at that. So the Ox... Oh, where is it? Oh, did I miss it? Move! In response to the Consulate Dreadnought ship and the cow. Where's this cow? So, I mean, you know, you never know when the card's so innocent. So the amazing ability on this cow is you can crew stuff with its toughness. So it's this six toughness might as well be considered 6 power, and then in combination with Consulate Dreadnought, we're gonna move. I command this ship to move. Yeah, Heart of Curing. Heart of Curing, eat your heart out. Sometimes you kick the guy off the ship, and sometimes you kick the ship off the guy. It's not a block, but they can put Snow Hate in a couple of sets without it being Kaldheim if they hate Snow without referring to it. But it's weird to have a Snow Hate card in a set with like no snow cards. You know what I mean? Unless they're continuing the snow mechanic going forward through the rest of the block. If you know what I mean. Oh, there you go. You push the ship into an iceberg. Got him. You fatal push a ship by leading it to the edge of the world. Oh, the flat earth. Yeah, the flat earthers. Only the flat earthers would know about that. What do you think about the Primeval Titan? What do you think about Primeval Titan? Every time cards are printed, that increases its strength, enables multiple strategies like Valakut and then Field and Dryad. What do you think? When do you think it is going to get axed? I don't know. It is a weird world we're living in where we have to ban a 6-mana creature, but it is banned in Commander. And it's becoming, like, pretty stupid annoying in Modern. Like, as they print more lands, this card is just getting worse. But, you know, to be fair, a lot of people hate Field of the Dead anyway, even in the control decks. So maybe the real answer is Field of the Dead. I personally just hate the Dryad because it consistently... I'll tell you what Dryad does. Like, Dryad of the Elysian Grove. Like, from my perspective, this card is evil. And the reason is, like, it comes out basically turn 2, because that's how the Amulet deck works. I mean, either they play a Boreal Grazer, or they play land comes to play tapped. No, sorry. They play, like, Amulet turn 1, then they, next turn, they untap, play a crew land, add 2 mana, get Dryad of the Elysian Grove in play 2 more lands. So basically, by turn 2, they're already set up for a turn 3 Titan, thanks to this stupid thing. And it's a fucking amazing blocker. I mean, a 2/4 creature on turn 2. What are you, nuts? This thing is a very, very good blocker. Even by turn 3, it's a good blocker. So it's slowing the game down to prevent you from, like, racing the stupid Titan deck. Anyway, I hate this card. I really don't have my eyes on Primeval Titan, but a lot of people are... I mean, this is getting more and more common where people are like, are we banning Titan or what? It's time. And people didn't used to say that. And now we're starting to get to that point where, hey, it's like Birthing Pod. As we keep printing better and better creatures, the tutor becomes more and more broken. And make no mistake, Primeval Titan is a tutor. A tutor's into play. I hate that stuff. If Primeval Titan look for 2 lands and you put into your hand, this would be a completely different discussion. Like, it wouldn't even be close. Like, it would be way more fair. But the fact that you tutor into play, I think tutoring things into play is like one of the strongest abilities in Magic, basically. The argument that a deck goes 5-0 means nothing as you know enough shit if you throw enough shit at a wall, it would eventually stick. Basically, I don't put too much stock into 5-0s. I put a lot more stock into how decks perform in open tournaments. Any changeling you put in the Merfolk deck? Just that green one, maybe. The one that exiles a creature from your graveyard and you get to exile an artifact or an enchantment. Do you think Boggles is still a reasonable tier 1 deck? No. I think you can call it a reasonable deck, but I would not call it a tier 1 deck. Very far from that. It very sparingly has it's like sparingly well positioned. I mean, you can always play it, but it's rarely that it's well positioned in Modern. Like, that's the deck to beat. All right, get the engineered explosives, boys. All right, let's go get the I don't know what else we use to hose Bogle's decks. The EE is usually it. Get the ratchet bombs, blast zone. No, we rarely are in these situations where we have to hate on Boggles. It happens every so often, but not super often. I wonder what my neighbors think. I know that I can hear everyone in the hallway, and sometimes I can hear people in their own homes. There's someone like coughing like nonstop, like next door, but they have to be hearing this morning show every single day. It is so difficult to interact with, and it's really fast. Primeval Tide. Well, yeah, I mean, it's hard to interact with anything that tutors stuff into play because the damage is done. ETB, damage done. You kill the Primeval Tide, okay, whatever. You've got the cards, and they're already in play to be used next turn. What do you think about making Tybalt counterspell card into a hard counterspell with Teferi? Ooh, is that how that works? But if you're like Jeskai Colors, if you're blue, you already have access to like good counter spells. I wouldn't say 2 mana is even a very good rate for a counter spell. Like, we have relatively good 2 mana counter spell, so I don't think I'd be thrilled about it, because like it will be bad in every situation where you don't have Teferi. Is Legacy more playable than Modern? Not according to the Legacy players, but apparently Vintage is the format to play right now. Like, the Legacy players that are fed up with Legacy, they're going to Vintage. The Modern players fed up with Modern, they're going to Vintage. Apparently it's a balanced format at the moment, so we're all missing something here. We all got to move to Vintage. Morning, Jow. How is Modern Humans positioned at the moment? Pretty poorly. It's not to say the deck is bad, but it's in a similar situation like I find with Merfolk. It's got a lot of 50-50-ish matchups, and it doesn't have necessarily a lot of great matchups that's putting itself far ahead. Like, the Titan matchups are pretty 50-50. Even the like Rakdos Death Shadow deck is like 50-50-ish. So the humans versus I actually think if you have the relics, humans versus Uro should be good. I don't think there should be any problem there. But there's a lot of the top decks, like it's not good against the Helid combo deck, for example. That's not a good matchup. So the point is that there's a lot of matchups that are like just too many 50-50-ish matchups, if you know what I mean. I really want to see the artifact lands to be unbanned. I really want to see Dispatch seeing more play. What is Dispatch? Oh, 1 mana, basically Swords to Plowshares with not gaining life. 1 mana, tap target creature, Metalcraft. If you control 3 or more creatures, exile that creature. Yeah, the first time I saw this card was in Grand Prix Vancouver when I was up against John Stern. I didn't even know the card existed until he played it against me. I'm like, why don't I see this card ever? That was the first time I ever played against this card. Strong card, very good card. I think the best argument against unbanning the artifact lands was someone said there could be like turn 1 Emery off of a Mox Opal. No, Mox Opal, sorry, Mishra's Bauble. So Mishra's Bauble, some other random artifact, and then boom, you play sorry, no, you just need the Mishra's Bauble. So Mishra's Bauble, artifact land, play your Emery, and now all of a sudden by turn 2 you can start looping Mishra's Baubles. I think that's the best argument against it, but even then, I don't know if that is like the most evil thing in the world. Like, frankly, we have Magmatic Chandler, just needs to tap, and then... I mean, you have to discard a card or whatever, but the card selection is just nuts. Plus, Dryad of the Elysian Grove is not legendary. Yeah, but, like, I don't think it needs to be. If it was legendary, I think it would be fine. You know what's hilarious is that Dryad of the Elysian Grove is an enchantment, and that is somehow not a big enough downside. Are we going to have 4 seasons, snow, fall, spring, and summer? Yes, let's bring on the fall lands, and the summer lands, and the spring lands. We've got to explore this to the fullest extent. What would it take to make Merfolk a tier 1 deck? Yes, I want a better 1-drops. Better ways of like just attacking or interacting by turn 1. Our turn 1 plays are embarrassing at this point. It's just so bad. Do you ever see Primeval Titan getting banned in Modern? It's absolutely possible. You know, as long as I've been playing this game, there was a lot of cards that got banned that I didn't think were ever going to get banned. I was not certain that they would ever ban Mox Opal, for example. I mean, I really thought after, you know, there was multiple years of Mox Opal just doing fucking dumb stuff. And they did nothing. They did nothing about it. And and it always looked like this is the breaking point. This is the breaking point. There's so many Mox Opal decks in like the top 16 of a GP, whether it's like Hardened Scales, Affinity, Lantern Control. And I'm like, are you going to ban this thing or not? And then they just don't. And they just didn't. And it was years, years went by and they just don't ban Mox Opal. And then they came to a point where I start making video, and I have no idea how much influence I had on the matter, but there was a point where I start making videos. Do you realize there's a fucking Mox in this format? I mean, everyone's pointing their fingers at like Ancient Stirrings and I don't know, what else are people pointing their fingers at? But like, they don't want to point their fingers at Mox Opal. So the point is, like, you know, Wizards can still surprise us if they say, these Primeval Titan cards are like getting out of control. And they've banned a lot of cards around Primeval Titan at this point. I mean, maybe Once Upon a Time deserved it anyway, but like Summer Bloom was banned for Primeval for the sake of keeping Primeval Titan in the format. So it's possible. I don't know if we're there yet, but certainly Primeval Titan still might have like many years to come. But people are starting to discuss that it should be banned. Like, you ask 2 years ago, no one would ever you want to ban Primeval? What are you talking with? And it's not even doing anything. And now we're getting at a point where it's pretty serious. It's a pretty serious card in the modern metagame. Is Jank capable of surviving in Modern? Wasn't aware. Needed the question marks. I mean, so long as you can win with your Jank. Like, I mean, I've been playing Merfolk for, I would say, I feel like I've been on my own for 4 years now, and I'm more than infinite on Magic the Gathering Online. I grind tons of ticks, but so I mean, it's up to you to adapt the deck and understand enough more, not only just about your deck, but also just Magic in general to keep it relevant in the modern metagame. Don't worry about what other people are doing with their decks. Just worry about what you're doing with your deck. And at this point, people might consider Merfolk Jank. Thoughts on Blue Moon in Modern at the moment without the fish bias? Totally fine. I think Blue Moon is totally fine. I think Blue Moon might be underrated. Blood Moon is very well positioned right now. What are your thoughts on the Foretell so far? I think honestly it's a garbage mechanic. I mean, I have no, it seems like a draft mechanic, to be honest. Like, none of these Foretell cards are aggressive at all. Not aggressive enough. And especially in a format like Modern, you have to it is such a big cost to pay 2 mana on, say, turn 2. You're basically setting I mean, you could be dead from that point. If you're spending 2 mana on turn 2 and you're not doing anything, you could be lost. Like, what is this? And the payoffs on some of these cards are like not even there. Like, this is a 3 mana, target creature gets +1/+1 and gains double strike until end of turn. Have they heard of Temur Battle Rage? And you can foretell this I guess you can disperse the casting cost between paying 2 and then paying 1. But it's just not, these cards aren't that great for even like investing the mana between 2 turns. So I mean, whatever, it's interesting. Like, we have a 3/6 vigilance here. I mean, I know this is a common. It's just, it's like a limited mechanic. I don't know, maybe we'll see some more aggressive foretell cards. It's sort of like Morph. Like, Morph cards aren't competitive because, again, like the competitive formats, even like Pioneer, you can't afford to spend 3 mana on turn 3 and basically put a Grizzly Bear in play. It's just not good value. And you're just gonna get crushed. What do you want for a 1-drop Merfolk? Merfolk Champion of the Parish, or a Merfolk that can get really big relatively quickly, or a Merfolk that can interact, like meaningfully interact, like sacrifice this, hard counter an instant or sorcery or something. I don't know. I'll even take an instant. Screw the sorceries. I could take that. Okay, so if there's, let's see, are there any new cards we have not checked out yet? Doesn't look like the spoil. Let's see. Let's refresh the page. Maybe there's something new being spoiled. Oh, we got some new stuff. Okay. Crush the Weak. Deals 2 damage to each creature. If a creature dealt damage this way would die this turn, exile it instead. Very, it's like a crappy Kozilek's Return, basically. But you could, actually, I will give it this. But you still have to, it's still sorcery speed. You can foretell it for 2 and then pay a red. So this might be one of the better foretell cards, though. Let's say you're a red, let's say you're like mono red, some sort of mono red deck. And you don't really have anything to do on your turn. You could foretell this, and then you know that you got this sweeper available for 1 mana in the future. Run amok. Target attacking creature gets +3/+3 and gains trample until end of turn. That's not bad. I mean, if Temur Battle Rage can see play. I mean, I don't know. I guess this is still not going to see modern play. Temur Battle Rage doubles the damage and gives double strike and trample. Okay, screw it. This is not seeing modern play. Demon Ishir Blitz. Demonic Lightning. Instant. Deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker, but you can foretell it for an R. Okay, okay. Only creature or planeswalker, though, not player. And Burning Rune Daemon. Is this like a leaked card or something? Or did someone get this as a spoiler and they took a picture of it and they submitted it here? Double black for generic flying. When the demon enters the battlefield, you may search your library for exactly 2 cards not named Burning Rune Demon and have different names. If you do, reveal those cards. An opponent chooses one of them, put the chosen card into your hand and the other into the graveyard. So it's like a mini Gifts Ungiven on top of a 6/6 creature, but it's 6 mana, so it's unplayable. Exile target creature or planeswalker, feed the serpent. I think that's about it. That's it for anything interesting. What is this? 3 mana, 3/2. Elf Warrior, Menace. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal an Elf Warrior or Tyrant card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. That is a pretty sick card, actually. That's pretty good. I mean, this is exactly in the... This is like Militia Bugler, but better, you know what I mean? An Elf Warrior or Tyver. What the hell is a Tyver? I've never even heard of that creature type. That's a pretty strong card. See, like, this is the kind of card that I want to put in my elf aggro deck, you know what I mean? Like my elf deck with, like, Aether Vial. Like, move away. I mean, maybe it could just even be put in a regular elf deck. The fact that ETB draw, like, basically a good creature, that's good stuff. I like that. I think Elves is getting a lot of good stuff in this. This is the set I wanted from Ixalan for Merfolk. This is what Elves are getting. Elves are getting good stuff. or just a lot of interesting new cards. Any way we get a deck tech on your EDH deck? Maybe one day. I do have an EDH deck. I don't know, maybe one Coffee and MTG would just go through it card by card. It's sort of a work in progress, but not really. I guess the deck is what it is. I don't play with it very often, but I do have it available. And I'm not selling it anymore. Because I don't know, I can never know what group of people I'll meet in the future that'll be like, hey, we're going to play EDH. Do you have an EDH deck? Yes, I do. I had an EDH deck for like 8 years, and then I sold it. And then my friends a few years later, thanks to the pandemic, said, we're going to get into the EDH. And I'm like, I sold all the staples. And they're like so much more expensive now buying them back in. I got scammed. That's why you don't sell your cards, people. Tyvar is the Planeswalker? So that this is very specifically looking for Planeswalker? So this is looking for any future, like, so that could have been like Jace or a Jace card? Okay. So this is Tyvar, so you can look for Planeswalkers with this thing, but only one specific Planeswalker. The Planeswalker of the Elves. Tyvar is the new Planeswalker. Okay. Gotcha. Is it me, or is Wizards of the Coast afraid to print red cards that hit the face? Demonic Lightning should go to the face, in my honest opinion. I guess it's they don't. Maybe they tried. I bet they tested it and they realized, this is like making the burn deck is too good, because like you might have ended up making like a pretty good. How do I put it? Like almost like a modern playable burn deck in standard. That's always the concern, I'm sure, from Wizards of the Coast. No new vampire cards? Not that I see. I don't think there was a lot of vampires in Norse mythology. Did they talk a lot about vampires in Norse mythology? I don't think so. Should be at least one, as there's one vampire. We haven't seen many of the Phyrexians, right? There's still Phyrexians to be had. Trying to see what else we got here. No, that's about it. So the floor is open to questions. Or actually, we can just get into Decklist review. Why don't we do that? Looks like the spoiler. I'm going to refresh the page one more time. If we don't see new spoilers, it's Decklist review time. Nothing. Boom. Awesome. So you know what time it is. It is time to review the deck lists. We review deck lists on the show. So if you want your 75 to get reviewed, to be featured, and get some feedback, I have a link in my Discord. Sorry, in the description. There is a link to my Discord. Click on it. Go to the channel. Deck list review. And then use the command, ! Review deck space, and then give the URL to your deck list. Remember, use the command. You enter the command, then you press space. Do not press enter. Then you put in the URL. Then you press enter, and then you will be eligible at random to be selected for deck list review. There's no queue. It says it puts you in a queue. It's all bullshit. You are selected at random. So definitely, as we wait for people to be pouring in their deck list, we are going to thank our sponsors, starting with themanabase.com, the content site that gives you the articles in podcast videos and articles on Modern, Commander, Standard, and more. The Mana Base is your home base for everything Magic the Gathering. And the Mana Base is sponsored by FusionGamingOnline.com. Fusion Gaming Online is my favorite local game store, and the deal of the week this week is save up to 25% off all board games. So if you're looking for something to do with your close net of friends, go check them out at FusionGamingOnline.com. Remember, it is a Canadian site and Canadian prices, and always come back every week for the new deal of the week, because there is a new deal every week. And We're also going to thank Mana Traders, the premier place to rent Magic cards online, and the best way for you to test out your brews without having to invest any more money into them. And also, you have access to almost every single card available when you need it. Mana Traders is the best way to rent cards online. You can support the channel by using my Mana Traders link in the description below, or you can save 15% off your first 3 months using my coupon code Nikachu. Mero said that there is a Vampire Dragon in the set, the combo. I haven't seen any spoilers. Are there any good ones for Merfolk? Not really. We haven't got anything good for Merfolk. We got some scraps. You know, that's us. That's us Merfolk players. We look for the scraps. We take whatever we can get. All right, I'll just give people a few more seconds and I'll start selecting deck lists. Okay, our lucky contestant today is Lumberjack. Let me guess, this is an elf deck. This might be quick because we've had Lumberjack on the Coffee and MTG a million times, so we should be familiar with the warrior elves. Warriors! Pyre elves. Something new. What the hell is a pyre? Okay, we got Elvish Mystic, Heritage Druid, Llanowar Elves, Nettle Sentinel, Dwynen's Elite, Elvish Visionary, Elvish War Master. So this is going to be a new card. Yeah. Whenever one or more other elves enter the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token. This ability triggers only once each turn. I think this is a pretty busted ability. I mean, I'm pretty excited about this. And it's a mana sink, right? So, like, it's like Azuri, except it actually does something. And, you know, in combination with Heritage Druid, I mean, I think it's pretty reasonable to get to 7 mana. We all know when elves goes off, it goes off. And like what you do with this card, I think, is you wait till you have 3 mana and you just play it in addition to another elf on the same turn. And it also you can use this with Ether Vial. I mean, I know this is not going to be an Ether Vial deck, but it's not cast. It's whenever one or more elves enters the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token. So, and only once each turn, so you could play something on your turn, get the token, vial something in to play it on your opponent's turn. Like, I've been looking at this card. I think it's a pretty cool card. Realm Walker. Oh yeah. So look at the top card of your library anytime. You can cast creature spells of the chosen type from the top of your library. So we are playing with the additions. We got Shaman of the Pact, Beast Whisperer. This is whenever you cast a creature spell, draw a card. Scamfar Shadow Sage. ETB, choose one. Each opponent loses X life, where X is the greatest number of creatures you control that share a creature type, or you gain X life, where X is the greatest number of creatures you control that share a creature type. I don't know if I'm sold on this one, but because it's very similar to Shaman of the Pact, except you can gain life. Also a good blocker. Actually, it's an elf, so who cares? It's an elf. I would have to see how that one's going to play out, though. And then, oh, now I get it. Pyre Elves. Sacrifice a creature, search your library for a creature card that shares a creature type with a sacrificed creature and has converted mana cost equal to 1 plus that creature's converted mana cost. So it's like the birthing pod. Honestly, I don't think this card goes well with this deck. I don't think you net cards, because this deck does better whenever you cast cards. Like whenever you cast a creature spell, you get this. I guess it gives you some ability to tutor for your Shaman of the Pact. I don't think this is the best Pyre of Heroes deck. So I guess I would just say play test it, but because I don't know how it actually plays, I have to play it myself. But just by looking at the deck, it doesn't look like the best Pyre deck at all. Not particularly impressed. But maybe it gives you extra copies of Beast Whisperer. Do you have to sack a 3-drop? Do you want to sack your Realm Walker? Like, everything synergizes well here. But this one does not. Anyway, test out Pyre of Heroes. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, scrap the damn thing. And then just add in, like, you know, fill in the cracks here. Cavern of Souls, Forest, Nurturing Peatland, Overgrown Tomb, Windswept Heath. Relic, Thoughtseize, Assassin's Trophy, Masked Vandal. Well, here's the problem with Masked Vandal. I probably wouldn't play this card, because how do you get cards in the graveyard? Like, you don't get... Oh, you do get cards in the graveyard because of Pyre of Heroes. It's clunky. Is it clunky? Maybe it's not clunky. You sacrifice, you tutor for this. If you do, exile target. Okay. You know what? This is not too clunky. 1-drop into Pyre of Heroes. Sack the 1-drop into Mass Vandal. That works. Now that's synergy. That works. I can see it. Yeah, you gotta try new stuff. We're trying a lot of new stuff here. Did you have enough black mana for 10? I think you're really low on black mana sources for Thoughtseize. You probably have to shave a few forests and some Cavernous Souls in order to make Thoughtseize work. Like, the Thoughtseize... Hold on, do you have anything that produces black mana? Nope. I think you need 13 black sources to play this card. Otherwise, it's sort of pointless. Pyre can search for Heritage and Sentinel with sack token? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you can find the 1-drops. Anyway, so you need more black sources in this deck. You have 10. You got to shave, like, I don't know, 2 forests and a Cavernous Souls, add some more black sources, and I think you would be okay. Of course, you'd be more weak to Blood Moon, but, I mean, you're 2 colors anyway. You're playing with elves, so who cares? You're playing with the elves. Assassin's Trophy is a little bit more lenient because you can play this on turn 4, so you don't need as many black sources, but still, Thoughtseize does. Thanks for submitting the list. Good luck with it. All right, let's move on. Welcome. Good morning, everyone. We're here getting in the middle of Decklist review on Coffee and MTG. I don't know about the rest of you. I need to take a sip of my coffee. My delicious coffee. Honestly, mana base was made really fast. Whole deck was made fast. Oh, well. Take your time. You have like a whole 24 hours before like Decklist review. Greetings from Chile. Say hello, please, to Mama Grandma. Hello, Mama. Welcome. Good morning from Canada. You're welcome, Frederick. Okay, who do we have next? We've got All in the Brain. Let's do this. At first, I thought this was going to be on deckstats.net, but it looks like it, but it's not. It's Scryfall. I can tolerate Scryfall. Scryfall is fine. Oh! Wizard's Devotion, modern. Interesting. Okay, so Curse Catcher, Mistcaller. It looks like Merfolk, but apparently it's going to be Wizards. Oh, can't see. So we got Curse Catcher, Mistcaller, Harbinger, Trickster, Naban, Void Mage, Prodigy. I like this card, to be honest. I like this card a lot, but it's so hard to make work. Gadwick the Wizened, Wistful Selkie. You're a wizard? Well, I guess so. Master of Waves, Venser, Pyre of Heroes, Wizard's Retort. I don't know how well this card is going to work. But we do have things to, like, tutor into. Seagate Restoration. Draw cards equal to the number of cards in your hand plus 1. You have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. Are we ever going to have that much mana? Oh, we might have that much mana thanks to Nykthos. Sometimes wonder, should I be experimenting with Nykthos? It's hard to keep stuff on the battlefield sometimes, but at other times it's hard to empty my hand. Maybe Nykthos can help me there. And it might not be as win more as it looks. I should maybe test some Nykthos myself. 19 lands, though. Oh, no, but you have the Seagate Restoration. Ceremonious Rejection, Pithing Needle, Relic, Spell Pierce, Confounding Conundrum, Metamorphic Alteration. I do not like some of these cards. Metamorphic Alteration is... What is this, like, for? Like, what against what deck is this going to be good against? Choose a creature. Each added creature is a copy of the chosen creature. So what, am I copying, like, Primeval Titan or something? That's interesting. And you'd be and I would be ready to attack immediately. I'm trying to think what other matchups would Metamorphic Alteration do something. I can't cast the aura at flash speed. If I could do that, you know, I could attack with a creature and then, surprise, I'm now a Death Shadow. Or a Scourge of the Skyclaves. I think it should be ultimately removed for some better sideboard cards, like, I don't know, Force of Negation or something. Okay, here's one unfortunate problem with this list. It is so weak on toughness. Like, you're bad on defense and you're weak, super weak to Lava Dart. Like, everything is 1 toughness, almost. Naban has 1 toughness. Void Mage Prodigy has 1 toughness. This has 1 toughness, but it doesn't matter as pro red. But so you get like really killed. Like, you have no defense against, like, if someone plays Ballista on 2, I mean, it's GG, right? I don't mind the chain you go through with Pyre of Heroes. You can go like into Harbinger, bounce something. Then you go into Wistful Selkie, draw a card. Then you go into Master of Waves. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. Yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. But the issue is I don't know. Okay, let's talk about one thing. I really like Gadwick. I actually think this is one of the best cards in the deck for 2 reasons. First off, if you need to push damage, you just need to play creatures and it taps your opponent's creatures down. And also, like, what are you going to do with all this mana? One of the best things you can do is play Gadwick for, like, I don't know, 7, draw 4 cards. I even tried to play this thing in Merfolk, and maybe I should explore it again. The problem is it's still good on the early game because you can cast blue spells and you tap target non-land permanents an opponent controls, so you can tap down creatures, and that's good. That is a good thing because you don't have a lot of good ways of getting in damage. Like Cursecaster and Mistcaller are not going to get in damage. If your opponent has like any blockers in your way, you're screwed. The only way you can push damage is through Master of Waves. I would suggest going all in on 4 Gadwick the Wizened. Definitely. It's good for devotion, but most importantly, this card is good at clearing the way and getting in damage, because I don't know any other way you can do it. Like, Merfolk at least has like Island Walk, and your creatures are small and crappy. So we have to go to 4 Gadwick. Maybe I would take out Wistful Selkie. I don't think this card is very impressive. I think it's a good tutor target for Pyre of Heroes, but you only need 1 technically in the deck. It's good devotion, but Gadwick is just as good for devotion, and the upside is much bigger as you have more mana. If you have 10 mana in play, Wistful Selkie draws 1 card. If you have 10 mana in play, Gadwick draws 7 cards. Venser is like okay. Naban is very good, but because Naban is very good, I might have more of these cards. I might scrap the Void Mage Prodigy. Too clunky, honestly. It's a pretty clunky card. It's hard to pull off because the decks you might want this against, I would say you could put this in the sideboard. You know, get rid of the Metamorphic Alteration. You could put Void Mage Prodigy in your sideboard, and that is the card that you bring in against combo decks. This is like, also I should say, Void Mage Prodigy is like in the top 5 cards that I'm always evaluating like once every few months to see, okay, is this card good yet? Because I could put this in Merfolk, because I have a lot of wizards in my Merfolk deck, and I think this ability is strong. Double blue, sacrifice a wizard, counter target spell. I think that's gas. I think that's super gas. But the problem is it requires like it's only good against like somewhat clunky control decks, or sorry, combo decks. Outside of that, and it needs to be combo decks that don't have removal. What else do we got here? So I definitely would go up on Gadwicks, because you need to push the. I don't know how you win the game otherwise. Wizard's Retort is fine. Maybe you want more Wizard's Retort. It might be better than Venser. This has to be played on your turn. Or I don't know how well these two work together. Like, these might be non-bows, having counter spells and having Pyre of Heroes, because Pyre of Heroes encourages you to tap your mana on your turn over and over again. And let me tell you, Naban into Gadwick draw 4 is the dream. You just give yourself a whole new hand. Alternatively, you could cut off some of these early 1-drops, but I think you need... I like to play with 1-drops though. I do. Well, I hope that's something to think about. I hope this is not too clunky, because this shoots you for 3 damage, right? Seagate Restoration. Is this the 3 damage one? Is this the Bolt Land? Yeah, you can pay 3 life. That's a lot of life, and I don't know how often you're going to cast this card. So it's something to keep in mind, because this could be, what's it called? There's a lot of other good blue utility lands, like Castle Vantress, for example, that does not shoot you in the face. Anyway, I hope that was some useful feedback. Go up on Gadwick. Gadwick is this is definitely a Gadwick deck. Get all in there with Gadwick. And that's going to be it. That's going to be it for Coffee and MTG today. I got to get ready to get some stuff on YouTube. Also have a dentist appointment today. Shout out to my dentist, keeping my teeth looking amazing. All good stuff. But thank you very much, everyone who showed up today. I really appreciate it, as we do on Coffee and MTG every single day. If I did not get to your questions or your deck list, that's okay, because we do this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 9 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time to around 10 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. And as the spoilers keep pouring in for Kaldheim, we'll have a lot more to talk about. So as usual, thank you very much for showing up. Hit that subscribe button, hit the likes. If you love Coffee and MTG, keep that coffee brewing so that we keep up the magic. All right, see you next time.